It's the Riot Podcast, the Friday, December 1st edition. Today in the show, we talk about Spotify Wrapped and ask what else besides your favorite artist are you in the top 1% of? We find out that there's actually a lot of people that can do one certain bodily function, and it surprises Isaiah.
We also talk about a woman who got a ticket for honking her horn and had a deep discussion on the morality of horn honking and where we stand.
One of us is a major honker, and the other, not much of a honker at all. Who's who? Take your guesses now.
We also talk about a child who wants to get rid of a certain emoji because he feels attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us really go for that.
Take your guesses on which emoji that is. There's many to choose from, but only one needs to be redone according to this guy.
And then people who aren't being prioritized on dating apps complaining once again.
Of course. Just like you are one of them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Also, you should check out our food fight from today, the Elf Krispy Kreme donuts. You can watch that on the RadioU TV Facebook page and YouTube channel. And have a good weekend. We'll
catch you guys soon.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
The question at hand, should the nerd emoji be changed? Because I've got someone here who started a petition, says it's offensive. Says the nerd emoji is offensive to people who wear glasses. This is a quote from the person who started the petition. His name is Teddy. He says, Apple is making it absolutely horrible for people wearing glasses. They're making people think we are nerds, and it's absolutely horrible. It's making me feel sad and upset. I find it offensive. There'll be thousands of people around the world that find it offensive too. He wants the glasses emoji with the buck teeth. He wants it redesigned. He wants the buck teeth taken away.
He just wants a smile.
He just wants it to have a smile.
He wants a regular smirk. He doesn't want the buck teeth emoji.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts are, I don't know if we need to change the emoji. I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah.
I also don't know, like in my mind, is this the nerd emoji?
I was going to say the same thing, so I typed it in. You know, you can bring up the list of emojis and search. And if you type in nerd,
it pops up.
It comes up.
Oh.
Yeah. Tough one. But to be fair, if you type in nerd, there's actually two emojis that come up, at least on my computer here. And the other one is the one with the monocle that's like investigating. That's also supposedly a nerd emoji.
I'm seeing that.
Which I find that's also questionable. When I think nerd, I think glasses. I don't think monocle, but maybe that's just me. Would it change your thoughts if I told you that the person who started this petition is 10 years old?
I am not that, yet again, I don't think it's that deep with the whole we need to change it.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't think it's like promoting bullying or anything, the nerd emoji.
No.
And it's not like a big issue. So there's nothing wrong with being a nerd either.
I feel that he's saying that this is offensive to people wearing glasses, but what he's actually saying is this is offensive to people with buck teeth.
Yeah, he has no issue.
A problem. He just wants it to not have the buck teeth anymore.
He's fine with the glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. He looks like this emoji.
Which is why I guess he finds it offensive. Although you would think maybe having an offensive that looks an emoji that looks exactly like you
would be cool.
That's representation, right? That's what everybody fight. It's like, why isn't there an emoji that looks like me that has 5 teeth missing and 1 eye patch? Everybody wants their own emoji except this kid that actually has one that is a spitting image of him.
But he thinks it's offensive to nerds.
Yeah.
I could see if this was a deeper issue, and usually I'm for, I don't want anybody getting picked on type things. This, that's like people are spamming the nerd emoji at him.
Maybe they are. Maybe that's why.
Well, maybe he's not old enough to have a phone yet then. Maybe it's best if we just don't do the whole phone thing. That's what I would say.
I don't know. I don't think it needs to be changed.
I don't think so either.
And this does feel like one of those things that if you change one thing, other people will find it offensive. Yet again, the buck teeth, community will be like, why did you take it away?
What's wrong with buck
You saying
teeth?
there's something wrong with buck teeth?
That's supposed to be offensive?
The buck teeth people should be like, excuse me, we don't all wear glasses.
And when did buck teeth go hand in hand with glasses and being a nerd? Like, when did they decide?
Yeah, I don't know a lot of nerds that have the buck teeth, actually.
Usually
But
nerds
I mean,
make
I can't picture a guy, he's wearing glasses, he's got like bigger teeth, and he's like, actually.
True.
But that's a cartoon. That's not a
That
real
is a
person.
cartoon.
I've never met a person like that.
In real life, nerds usually have like perfect teeth because they could pay for braces because they make so much money.
That's right. Yeah.
But when they were growing up, they might have had buck teeth.
Well, where do you stand on the nerd emoji? Does it need to be redesigned? Is it offensive to anybody besides this 10-year-old? 8772 Radio U.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
What do you think of this new study, Isaiah, that was done by researchers at Carnegie Mellon University? That's pretty prestigious, pretty scientific. Like, they know their stuff there, do a lot of good research, apparently. And also the University of Washington. They worked together to analyze dating app algorithms. And what they found was dating apps like that, just present people for you to swipe through, prioritize the people they put forth for you. They're going to put forth more popular and attractive people as opposed to people that might actually be the best match for you. Do you think that's, one, right, as in correct? Like, do you buy the findings of the study? And two, do you think that's okay, not okay? Where do you fall?
I would say it doesn't seem as if, at least with my time on dating apps, it seems as if it tries to not always put forth the most popular matches, but just like categorizes you, it seems like. To where like if you get a lot of matches, then you will get people with who get a lot of matches. If you don't get a lot of matches, then you get people who don't get a lot of matches. It kind of seems like how it goes.
In other words, it all depends on your popularity.
Yeah.
And less about your compatibility.
Yes.
I think I totally buy the results of this study, even though I haven't been on dating apps in quite some time, but it makes sense because most of these dating apps are not coming at you saying, we are going to use our, proprietary criteria and how you fill out your profile to match you with the perfect person for you. They don't really say that. They're just like, come on here and, you'll find somebody. What do the dating apps want by and large? Even though they may say, we want you to be happy. We want to hook you up with somebody that you'll, have a real nice relationship with. The truth is they want you to keep on being on there, right? To keep on swiping, spend more time on there, spend more money on there, see more ads or whatever. And how do you do that? By keeping on seeing people that are real attractive that you're like, oh, I could have a chance.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. It said it led to the determination that a user's chance of being recommended by the platform's algorithm increased by a notable margin as their average attractiveness score went up, which makes sense because if you're on a dating app and no matter what you're into, if you don't see people that you're attracted to on there, you're going to be like, this app stinks.
Right.
I don't want to be on here because there's no cute people on here. But if you're constantly seeing these really cute people that you think that, yet again, you might have a chance to match with, then you're going to want to get on it every single day.
Yeah. Even though, this is kind of the poison of it, that, for some people, studies have also found that, it's very detrimental to be on a dating app of that fashion because even after you get into a relationship, you've been trained to be like, well, there could be somebody else out there.
I just swipe one more time.
Yeah, a few more swipes, we'll see what else is out there. And so
they're smart. The dating apps are smart.
They are, and it'd be honestly bad business
if they
for them to you're on there for a day and you found your match already because they had the perfect criteria, the perfect algorithm to match you with somebody that would actually work for you. But I mean, that'd be creepy if they were able to accomplish that. But also, that would be bad for them because then you'd be off the dating app way quicker.
And you know as well that the dating app is trying to get your money and they're trying to keep you on there. When every time that you run out of swipes, I'm telling you, every single time that you run out of swipes and you're not able to swipe that one more, it still shows you a profile that you can't swipe on.
Yeah.
And it's always the most beautiful girl you've seen all day. Because like, man, if I had one more swipe, maybe I could match with her right now. And then you end up buying the Tinder Premium or whatever it is, and then you swipe and it's not a match.
Cockroaches, man.
They're good. They are good. They know what they're doing. They're good. I'll give it to them.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Is actually possible that you could get a ticket for honking your car horn?
I'd be upset if I did.
This is it's such a contentious issue that it looks like it's now making its way all the way up to the Supreme Court. Now the reason this woman was ticketed for honking her horn, apparently she did it. She was driving by a rally at her congressman's office in 2017, and she was honking in support of the rally, the protesters. So she was trying to be, supportive. But according to a California traffic law, horn and honking is banned other than to warn another driver, which she was not doing. She was doing it as a friendly honk. Go get him honk. It wasn't a watch out honk. And so she was ticketed, and now she has taken this fight all the way to the Supreme Court. Where do you stand on honking?
I'm a honker. I think there's
Are you a friendly honker or a watch out honker?
I'll honk for almost any reason. I'll honk if I'm angry. I'll honk if I'm happy. You'll catch me honking in many different ways.
So you're a big honker.
I will honk. I've honked many a times.
I don't think I've ever heard you honk.
Oh, well, you've never been driving around me. You've only ridden with me once.
I have ridden with you once. I'm also a honker, but I'm not really a happy honker. I save up my honks. I'm one of those people, if they ever instituted a rule where it was like you get 3 honks per year, so use them wisely, I would be very good at that because I probably use 3 honks per year when somebody really does something that either is just, an egregious, dangerous act or, makes me angry or it is a watch out situation. I use my honks for that and that's it.
I honked this past Saturday. And a friendly honk.
A friendly honk?
I passed somebody I knew.
Oh, yeah?
I tossed him a honk. I think this month I probably honked at least 3 times. This past month, I guess it's December 1st now. I bet I honked 3 times in November.
Dang.
And 2 of the 3 were probably happy honks. One of them may not have been as happy. More aggressive.
I see when it's a happy honk, I just wave. I don't need the happy honk.
But they might not catch you. That's why I did it. It's because I was passing by them. I didn't think that they would see me. So I had to toss the honk, and then I texted them and said, that was me who gave you the honk.
I gave you a happy honk.
You heard me go by. Like they wouldn't believe me if I texted and said, hey, I just passed you.
Yeah.
I had to honk. That way they could know that it was for sure me.
Yeah. But see, the reason I save my honk so much, why I never do happy honks, and then I only rarely pull out an angry honk, is because honking can really, especially if it's the angry honk that's like, oh, you cut me off or whatever, it just really throws people. Because first of all, they're probably like, if you're honking at somebody else that did something that upset you, they're going to defend themselves. How often do you see people, one person honks and the other, because they're angry, and the other person honks back? Almost always. They're never like, sorry, I was wrong.
I honked yesterday.
That never happens.
Darn it, I honked too much. I honked yesterday, but they would not argue. I'll tell you the one time that you can honk, and the person will never act as if they're in the right. That's if you're at a stoplight.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns green, which I did just yesterday.
Yeah, feel free
I honked at the person in front of me because it was green. And that's not me doing it angrily. It's me letting them know that it's green.
Get your face out of your phone. Pay attention to the road, to the lights.
I get upset if I'm sitting at a light not paying attention and it turns green and nobody behind me honks. Because if I'm sitting there looking at my phone and I look up and it's green, I'm like, seriously? Nobody wanted to let me know that I could go? And obviously it's my fault because I'm not paying attention. But if they don't honk at me, then I don't know that I'm being rude.
Some people are not going to like your casual admission that you look at your phone at stoplights.
What's that, against the law? To pull out my phone at a stoplight?
I think it might be, yeah.
So I can't look at my phone at all in the vehicle if I'm at a stoplight?
Just watch out. That's one of the most... There's going to be an angry mob coming for you. I'm telling you right now.
Text in, please, 8772 Radio U. If you don't think I can look at my phone at a stoplight, I don't know what to tell you.
I think Chris, our engineer, Moneybags, he'd arrest you for that behavior.
For looking at my phone at a stoplight? When else do you want me to do it?
He said as much to me recently. When you're not driving.
Better than looking at it when I'm driving.
I'm not saying I would do this, but people are going to be upset.
Oh, hi there.
This worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
Everybody is seeing their Spotify Wrapped come out the last day or two. I got my Spotify Wrapped. I listened to, check this out, 51 days worth of music. Is that a lot?
It's a lot of music.
That's like one day a week if I just spent the entire day listening to music, right?
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. My top artist, I will confess, not a Radio U artist. It was Elvis Presley.
That's impressive. Being up there for Elvis. Big Elvis guy. I didn't know you liked Elvis so much.
I like Elvis, but here's what I do, and this is why a bunch of non-Radio U artists are ahead as far as like my top listen to, is because I will listen to like a classic artist and I'll listen to every single album to like see what was all the fuss about. And so I did that with Elvis. I mean, some pretty good songs in there.
And they can't track your listens at work all day.
Yeah.
We listen to Radio U all day long.
Yeah, that's actually, I forgot about that. But yes, that's another, like.
You want to talk about minutes listening to artists?
Seriously.
I wonder what my minutes would be.
Well, I guess it'd be about circa 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, the entire year. So
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that factors in too. But you know what's interesting, what a lot of people see in their Spotify Wrapped is your top artist. For me, Elvis. I was in the top 0.5 of all Elvis listeners.
Wow,
that's pretty. And for an artist like that, pretty impressive. If I do say so myself. But I was wondering, I like seeing that stat come out, but I want to know, what is something else that you're in the top, let's just say percent. What's something you're in the top 1% of that's not like artists you listen to? Something about you where you're the top 1% of what?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So you can text into the Riot Hotline.
8772 Radio U.
And let us know. I think it's similar to the question, if you had to give a speech on a topic unprepared for 30 minutes, what would you talk about? It's similar to that, right?
Yeah, but it's so much wider.
Yeah. Yeah, because you might not give a speech on, I don't know.
Be outside the box, you can think anything. You're in the top 1% of compliments received, compliments given, hats worn.
The top, I guess that would be me. You just took mine right there.
Sorry about that.
You could be in the top 1% of people who eat at Panda Express. I don't know. It could be just anything. So 8772 Radio U. What are you in the top 1% of besides your number one artist on Spotify? We'll see what people are saying. We'll try to come up with a few others other than the hat thing for me.
Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
In honor of Spotify Wrapped coming out and telling us all that we're in the top 1% of whatever artists we listen to, we're asking, what else are you in the top 1% of? You can text in your answer to 8772 Radio U. Pretty good answer here from Chad, who says he's not quite in the top 1%, but he's close in a bunch of lifetime Fortnite stats.
Impressive.
And to give you let's give Chad some props here. He's got an 11.9 win percentage. So he wins just about 1 out of every 10 times he plays. That has him ranked 1,335,687th of all Fortnite players. That's in the top 2%. But then you think, when you put it that way, you think it's actually kind of easy to be in the top 1% of a lot of things, because you just have to be in the top million if there's 100 million people that have done it.
Yeah, but that's still, I'm probably ranked like 900 million.
On Fortnite, that's impressive. Yeah. I think, but for a lot of other things, it actually isn't that hard to be ahead of 99% of other people, because 99% of other people just probably don't do it at all.
Yeah.
I like Susanna, who said she's in the top 1% of having old pairs of Brooks running shoes that I don't wear anymore because I already worked out in them a lot, but I want to keep around because you never know when you'll need a pair of old shoes. You do never know. How often do you get rid of shoes?
Throw them away?
Yeah.
It takes a while.
I do this, but I keep my old shoes too long, but I only get a new pair of shoes probably like once a year, a new pair of like running shoes. So I'm like but I have like 4 pairs. So I do keep them around for mowing the lawn, usually is what they wind up getting to. Mark says this has got to put him in the top 1%. He can stop hiccups on command. Do you think 1%?
What does that even mean?
1% of the population can do that.
Stop hiccups on command.
I feel actually, you know what, Mark? Thinking about that math, could 1 out of 100 people stop hiccups on command? I feel like yes.
No,
I feel like yes.
I've never met someone.
I'm gonna have to call this into question.
But listen, wouldn't that be everyone's fun fact? I've been in a lot of those fun fact sharing moments.
Yeah.
No one's ever shared that. I've heard a lot of weird ones.
Okay.
No one's ever said hiccups on command, stopping them. I'm not even sure I believe that's real.
It's impressive, nevertheless, but I don't know. I feel like more than 1 out of 100 people could do it. What about you? What's your top 1%?
I've got 2.
moment? Okay.
One of them, haircuts received. I guarantee it.
You think so?
Yes.
I think there's more like celebrities that probably get it cut like
But you got to think
multiple times a week.
Think of all the people that get haircuts.
Yeah.
Which is everyone in the world.
Pretty much.
For me to be in the top 1%, me getting my haircut once a week, that's for sure top 1%er.
I guess yet again, you're talking, do you get haircuts more than if you had a group of 100 people, do you have the haircuts the most out of that 100? And I guess that's pretty popular, just a random sampling.
I would say it's pretty likely. The other one I have, I don't know exactly how to equate this, but there has to be some way, and that would be some sort of having to deal with the worst behaved dog.
I don't know. There's dogs out there that are like biting people and stuff.
There's more
Jim the
good
dog
dogs.
doesn't do that.
My dog, listen to this. Jim peed inside yesterday, and it's great.
Yeah.
Twice. He received 2 baths. 2 baths. Imagine coming home from work, giving your dog a bath, leaving the house, coming back home, and cleaning up pee again and giving him another bath.
But
unreal.
Think about when you're out walking around and like you walk past a yard with a dog and the dog's just going wild. So you give me a sampling of 100 dogs randomly. I don't think Jim is the worst out of those 100.
I mean, it depends on what your category of worst is. Would I rather have a dog that bites me or pees in my house every day? It's tough to say.
Max says he can also stop his hiccups on command. So that's 2 people already. But we probably have more than 100 people listening, I would hope. So
fingers crossed.
More than 200 people. What was mine? I mean, mine is the hat thing for sure, because I literally, anytime you see me, I'm always wearing a hat.
But there's so many people like that, though.
I mean, some people have to do it for like religious reasons, if you count that. But
yeah.
I still think, so that, that does make it tougher if you count that.
And
but if you can't be able to do it voluntarily.
It's just so popular, the hat thing. There's people that are bald, Hudson. You think they're not wearing a hat all the time?
How many times you see me without a hat, though?
I'm just saying it's a really common thing. So it's harder to be in the top 1%.
What would your answer for me be then?
Probably most compliments giving to myself on the radio. If you like that video, there's a ton more. Go check out our past videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.